Now, after losing a loved one, there's so many challenges that we have to go through and that we need to learn to navigate in one way or the other. And one of them is doing the grocery shopping. When I went out to buy some food yesterday in Vienna, where my mom used to be in a care home, I was being triggered in almost every aisle because there was food everywhere that I used to buy for her, whether it was baby food at the end of her life or, smoked fish several years ago when she was still at home and I was cooking for her, making my stir fry with some smoked mackerel, or whether it was fruit that I brought into the care home when she was still able to swallow. Everywhere I was just being triggered. And it was really tough to go through the supermarket and dealing with all the triggers. And that's why I want to share this video with you. How can you prepare yourself so that you're not hit by grief wave because of all these triggers? Now, one thing I did after I came home was I did some wailing. I don't know whether you've ever done it before, tried it before, but it was such a relief to just sit down and do some really, really good wailing. Just get it all out. And you may notice that while you do this, the longer you wail, that means the longer you exhale. And the longer you exhale, the more you relax and you get out of this fight and flight response that grief puts us in. But even better would be to do the wailing before you go and do some food shopping. Now, I did it when I came home after doing some funeral arrangements with my siblings. So I was just trying to be efficient, and that wasn't a good idea. So I would encourage you to try some wailing, try to release some of the emotional pain that you are carrying, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. We're not always aware of this emotional pain, right? Because we are being distracted by so many things. But just take some time before you go out, even if it's not grocery shopping. Anytime you go out and you carry this heavy weight, to just release some of it by doing some wailing, or maybe something else that can help you release some of the pent-up emotions, so that you're not being triggered so much when you are in a public space and the grief wave hits you. Maybe there won't be any grief wave because you've released some of the grief beforehand, and maybe you can breathe through it more easily while you're being out and about. Yeah, so I encourage you to try some practice, some breathing practice, some sitting with your grief, doing some grief work just before you need to go out, so that you can breathe more easily when you're in a public space surrounded by people, and you're not so overwhelmed by your grief. And it's not something you need to suppress while you're out and about. You can just carry on with your everyday business, and when you're home you can just sit quietly again and check in with your emotions and see whether there's anything that needs to be released after having been out and about. I can just really heartily recommend this wailing practice. It's like a pressure release valve, because all these emotions, they just stack up in our heart, and they just need to come out somehow. And wailing is a wonderful way of releasing these emotions and making some room, like it's like emptying a barrel, and then it can fill up again while you're out and about doing your grocery shopping or anything else that you need to do. And then when you get home, that's when the barrel is about to overflow again, and then you're in a safe environment again, and you can do some more grief relief work, whatever that is for you. There's so many ways that can help us, so many practices, and wailing is just one of them, but I can hardly recommend it, as I said before. So this is just sharing some of my personal experience with you to help you cope better with your grief. Bye bye, take care.